Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. We are going to dive right into this topic because it is blowing up all over the internet right now. It's not even January. Trump has not even been certified as the next president. So basically, there's no policy that's going to be changing, wholesale as of this moment. But we're seeing a lot of the potential possibilities of what will happen again with the border, with immigration, with a lot of this direction that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is supposed to be taking on, with, of course, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy being in head of that. And I think despite the fact that many of us have been very skeptical, very concerned about Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk's other interests, I've been hopeful that this would be something that's a positive move, especially given the fact that neither one of these people is actually in elected office in this situation. It is more of a administrative position, you would say it. So basically, what's gone on the last couple days is the discussion over these H-1B visas that people are being granted. Again, it's the debate about whether or not we are getting the brightest and best from around the world, the cream of the crop, just trying to get the top 0.1% of doctors and engineers and innovators and scientists from around the world to come here, rather than just basically importing perpetual worker class or slave labor, if you will. So unfortunately, what has devolved into is Elon Musk has been on Twitter, him and Vivek Ramaswamy the last couple of days, basically alienating the hell out of a lot of people. And whether or not you agree with him or not, I think that there's a lot to be said for the way he has approached the situation. And I get it. He personally is an immigrant. He himself has said that I came here on an H-1B visa, so I'm very sensitive to this subject or whatever. But this has gotten to be a little unhinged. So he tweeted out today, "America rose to greatness over the past 150 years because it was a meritocracy more than anywhere else on earth. I'll fight to my last drop of blood to ensure that it remains that land of freedom and opportunity." I think that's a very fine thing to say, whatever. Unfortunately, that's probably the most level-headed thing he's had to say all day. And of course, we saw Vivek Ramaswamy a couple of years ago saying that America isn't a place, it's an idea that brought together a divided group of people 250 years ago. Many of us, especially, 9mm SMG here on Twitter, take this very sensitively, I should say, because many of us don't like the idea that America is just an idea. It's like, no, we are a country, we're a nation, we have borders, we have customs, our culture is descended from the Europeans, and as such, we should be respected as a group of people. Sure, there might not be American ethnicity specifically, but we're more than just an idea. We are we are a place. And of course, 9mm says it's a red flag anytime anyone says America is not a place, it's an idea. This should have been enough for everyone to understand, but it was ignored. And again, this is a tweet from 2 years ago, so a little concerning. And of course, the Quartering has been sharing a lot of the information about this all over Twitter today. He's been very, very aggressive in his response to Elon Musk, sharing this post that says H-1Bs have never been about highly skilled employees. It's all about cheap labor. The least Elon and Vivek could do is admit it. And I think a lot of people have felt this way. Like, why are they not going about this admitting that, look, we need more? Why don't they just say, hey, yes, we'd like the cream of the crop. We really want the top 1%ers, but we also need more people because of, again, you could say, the birth rate decline, right? That people aren't having enough babies. Or you could just come out and say, we think Americans are just too lazy and too uneducated, which is what started a lot of this. Vivek Ramaswamy initially kicked this off because his tweet a couple days ago was that, look, we don't have enough people in STEM. We don't have enough educated people here, enough tech bros to actually do the jobs. So we need to bring in the tech bros from around the world. So, of course, in response to this guy saying, are people really dumb enough to think they can convince Elon Musk, an immigrant to the United States who has generated untold wealth and national security advantage for our economy and nation out of thin air, that high-skilled immigration is bad for Americans? Elon responded, "My tolerance for subtards is limited." Now, a lot of what's causing a lot of issues on Twitter is this person here who's a blue check account, but he's only got like 2,000 followers, destroyed Elon in the reply. It got 15,000 likes. He literally ratioed him almost 2-to-1. This has not gone well for a lot of people because, unfortunately, we're going to see in a second here, there's a lot of people who have been having their accounts go under review, people who have lost their subscribers, like Laura Loomer, somebody who I have no respect for, actually lost her ability to be monetized on Twitter after offending Elon Musk. The Quartering saying opportunist MAGA, calling everyone opposed to H-1B slave labor racist as a means to shout down dissent is leftist tactic. And you see guys like this @Jason here. Intolerant lunatics hijack both parties. What we're witnessing is these individuals losing their power. The woke lunatics in the Democrat Party looks like idiots, and the racist members of MAGA have shown their true colors. DJT will expunge them. This is part of the process. But of course, most of us are like, it's not about racism, it's about why don't we just stop importing the world here. And again, a lot of what we're seeing, a lot of the pushback is not just that it's like, hey, well, we don't want brown people doing our tech jobs. It's not about that. It's about the fact that these people that we're bringing here across the board, we've seen mass migration over the last 10 years at a shockingly high level. And what we're not getting is the best and the brightest. We're getting criminals, gang members, people who are bringing all sorts of degeneracy and crap here that we don't need. We've got enough of that as it is. And then you'll see responses like, well, we have bad people here. Exactly. We have too many bad people here already. We don't need to bring everyone else's, criminals here to add to our filth. Asmongold saying, using H-1B visas to import genuine S-tier 0.001% talent is good. Using H-1B visas as a cheaper alternative to hiring American workers is bad. Am I crazy, or is this the obvious reality? If I think about the spirit of America, that's what makes the most sense. And again, I think in a situation where maybe you don't have enough specialists of a certain type, it's absolutely ideal to say we need to bring these people in. But that's not the situation. So, of course, I responded and said most people would be okay with it being a tool to bring nothing but the best to the U.S., but that's not the reality. And the way Vivek and Elon have been gaslighting is the wrong way to convince people that this is a good thing. And again, that's been a lot of their responses. A guy here, Ian Hayworth, saying originally came to America on a H-1B visa to work in tech. Do you know the real reason tech companies love foreign hires? They practically own them and can underpay them accordingly. It has nothing to do with culture and everything to do with cost. Now we're seeing Indian people on Twitter calling for mass cancellations and bannings, which also, like I said, is very strange because we're seeing people who have spoken out about the H-1B visa thing, having their accounts go under review, having their subscriptions canceled, their ability to have paid subscribers. Elon calling people contemptible fools, saying they must be removed from the Republican Party, root and stem. Elon responding to fake accounts like this fake Patrick Bet David account, baiting conservatives with a little, bullseye. And of course, people like Lord Miles, who's traveled all over the world, saying the whole purpose of a country is to serve the people, not replace or damage them. What you're describing is treason for personal profit. You should be dealt with accordingly for committing treason. I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with that one, but I'll leave that there. Cenk Uygur, who has basically decided to go moderate since the election didn't swing his way, saying he agrees with Elon and Vivek about H-1B visas, but he loves the rebellion against them because it shows that MAGA is thinking for itself, which I think is actually a rather level-headed take. Unfortunately, people are pointing out that H-1B doesn't get you these best and brightest. You get essentially the situation where Disney workers were forced to train their foreign replacements under the H-1B program. Another person, Chris Prothero, saying talented engineers are covered under O1, not H-1B. H-1B is used for cheap labor and to replace people that you would otherwise have to pay too much for, such as this one where plumbers on average in America as a whole make $58,000 a year, but you can see these salaries here for these plumbers on H-1B making $26,000. And of course, person responds and says it's almost impossible to qualify for an O1, and then Chris responds, but that's what Elon said he wanted. This is the disagreement. This is why we're saying what Elon and Vivek are saying is not what they actually mean. And again, that's the point. You're not getting the brightest and best. You're getting the tech slave labor under the guise that Americans are just either too stupid or lazy to do this themselves. People like James Lindsay, who I cannot stand, the guy has coined this term woke right just in order to piss people off on Twitter to try to I don't know if it's engagement bait or what his deal is at this point in his, career online. It's absolutely baffling to see the shit that he's been doing, especially between him and Carl Benjamin recently. But saying, is MAGA really happy about Kash Patel, or did that change in the last 24 hours too? Quartering responds, is Kash Patel an H-1B visa employee? No? Then yes, we are. And again, pointing out that Kash Patel is an American, so bringing him into this doesn't make any sense. Then we've got Adam Kinzinger, somebody I cannot stand, I loathe entirely, dunking on Elon Musk, which is pretty strange to see. So Elon stripped the blue check because someone hurt his feelings. Dude, lay off the ketamine, talk to a therapist, help the poor, retire, talk to your kids and grow up. He's going to keep strangling this place. If you love him, great, but don't pretend he's for free speech. I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. Nikki Haley, another person who I've had a fantastic time the last couple of years, absolutely dunking on. You can see my post right here. I have no love for Nikki Haley, saying there's nothing wrong with American workers or American culture. All you have to do is look at the border and see how many want what we have. We should be investing in prioritizing Americans, not foreign workers. And then she goes on to continue destroying their argument, which again, I hate to see because I do not like this woman, saying when I was governor in South Carolina, our unemployment went from 11% to 4%. How? Not by hiring foreign workers. We recruited foreign companies to invest in South Carolina, but not their workers. We retrained South Carolinians in our tech schools for these new jobs. Vivek, of course, trying to deflect and move on, saying, all right, back to work today. Lewis Mir on Twitter saying H-1B visas aren't to bring in the 0.1%. They're to fill in entry and mid-level jobs for lower wages over qualified Americans. Ran into this old Tucker interview that discussed the topic, worth a watch. And this again goes back to the same issue we've seen with companies again like Disney, having their employees retrain these H-1B hires so they can simply have people working at a lower cost. And it's just dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. Quartering pointing out that there's as many as 85,000 H-1B issued every single year. Am I supposed to believe that there are nearly 100,000 jobs a year in this country that cannot be done by a single American? And again, I think that there's a valid argument that there's a lot of people, especially in the younger generation. Look, we've seen apps like Reddit have these, anti-work threads that they've started that where people don't like to work. And it's like, I get it that there's a laziness epidemic in this country, but unfortunately that's been partly due to the lockdowns from COVID, the work from home initiatives that these companies put in, where now nobody wants to return to the office. And I find that to be asinine. It's like, look, get your ass to work. I'm sorry. I think most people should go to their physical location for work. I think that's probably the best way to go. But unfortunately, just saying that the reason that we have to bring in immigrant workers is because all Americans are lazy is a completely asinine take. And the Quartering share is one that says, today I learned that low-pay golf instructors are only available from India. Nobody in the USA can teach golf. And again, you can see this varying amount of jobs here when it comes to golf with different varying salaries, of course, all on the H-1B visa program. Michael Cassidy saying we must have H-1B visas or America will collapse. The H-1B visas. 7-Eleven, 2 cashier jobs, base salary of $24,000 and $30,000. This is not a joke. This is a real thing. Callum, formerly of Lotus Eaters, saying what's funny is if you could open unlimited H-1B visas to Brits in their 20s and get your cheap labor and keep WASP demographic core, but that's not an option, I guess. And you can see here, apprenticeships for plumbers making far less than what Americans get paid. So guys, this is about cheap labor. Don't be deceived. Anna Slats saying they're trying to import Indians on H-1B visas to work as male strippers in Las Vegas. Chippendales, Las Vegas LLC, job title dancer, base salary $900. Oh my. And of course, this is the really inflammatory tweet right here that's kind of set everybody off. A couple hours ago, Elon Musk says, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself in the face. I will go to war on the issue of the likes of which you cannot comprehend. And this has been very disturbing for a lot of people. Jonathan Wong here saying, please, I love a lot of what you do, but this combative rhetoric is a terrible look. And again, you can see the Space Exploration Technologies Corps senior accountant job with a base salary of only $110,000. This doesn't seem quite right. Like, guys, this is 100% about bringing in cheaper labor to undercut American workers. And this is the part that a lot of people are pretty pissed off about and pretty upset about, because all the spurging out that we're seeing from people like Elon today, where he's basically insulting people, basically blanketing everyone as either too dumb to do the job or too lazy to actually work the job, has pissed off a lot of people, a lot of the white Americans, a lot of the white men in the certain industries who have said, look, I had a job, I got a degree, I went to go apply, and basically I got told, no, I can't hire you because you're white. And to just slap them in the face and say, oh no, you guys are just lazy, we need to bring in immigrants to do your job for you. Probably not the best way to go about this, but I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I know that there's going to be a lot of mixed feelings about this, a lot of hot takes. I'm just looking at this from the outside going, despite what all the reasons behind this, this is by far probably the worst approach that Elon and Vivek and a few other people supporting him could have taken in this entire situation. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.